Okay, we'll start off with the course Blackboard side. We got to think about the new Blackboard. Yeah. Yeah, and that's what we try to do. We try to set our sites up, or my sites, very, very similar to the way the old Blackboard was set up. So we start off with first week in course information. So this is where the syllabus is going to be at. This is where the syllabus quiz is going to be at. The first week's quizzes and agreements, right? Course assignments. So I think we have quite a few course assignments in here, of course, and they're out of order, of course. First assignment, of course, is just complete all your quizzes and your evaluations, right? Assignment 2 is to send email. Unfortunately, you can't email from Blackboard like you could on the old Blackboard, so you'll actually have to use your email and email me using your syllabus brief. These are out of order too. These are to go back and take your previous test. Oops, I didn't want to do that. This thing shifts around every once. So go back and take your previous test before each test. Before you, so test 2, you'll have to take the previous test for test 1, uh, test 2, test 3, you'll have to take the previous test for test 2, and then for the final exam, you'll have to take the previous test for test 3, and then of course evaluation. Oops. Course content, this is where you'll have some handout and reference material, lecture slides, and then labs. This, you don't have to have your lab book. I'll print off the labs for this one. I'll print you off one copy. If you lose it, you need to do what? Come up here and print your own off, right? You understand that? So this is where the actual labs will be at. And they're in PDF format. There's very few procedures are up here. Then each section of the labs that we're doing. The labs in this class are just like the labs in the motor control class, where you have a chapter of labs, and then there'll be two or three labs within that chapter. And at the very end of the chapter, you have a quiz. Yeah. I've been trying to get the quizzes up on Blackboard, any ones that don't require drawing. So I'll let you know about that. But this is where the labs will be at. This is where the lab chapter quizzes will be at. Okay. So what we'll do on this class, instead of you having to turn in that chapter quiz, you'll come up here and do it on Blackboard. And then what's nice about this is I don't have to grade it. Blackboard grades it for me. So this is a little different from the motor controls, and eventually I'll try to put most of those up on motor controls. And we'll give out lab procedures when we go to our first lab, which is going to be early in this class because I've already had motor controls, right? So we'll be in class, probably not next class, but we'll be in class next week. I mean, in lab next week. Here's lecture slides. Lecture slides are available at oops. I don't know where my lecture slides are at yet. Oh, here they are. These are available in one slide per page and 3 slides per page. Most of our work in this class will be done outside of the textbook. There is a section in the textbook, your motor controls textbook, that deals with sensors, but it's just one chapter, I think. We're going to deal with a lot more sensors. So these slides, these are 3 slides per page. These are set up so if you want to print them off, you can actually write notes on each slide. And the slides that make sense, and you can keep up and use that to help study. Is that it? Rules for relay logic. We'll make sure we go back over those. Dictionary. There's a section in there on. This is one that I've developed that we use for all our classes. And there's a section in there on sensors. There's a section in there on motor controls. So technically, this class here is just an extension of motor controls. Everybody's in here at motor control. So what we're going to do over here on the left-hand side, we're going to start putting sensors in there instead of just push buttons like in motor control. I think the only sensor used in motor controls was that solid statement. A type of sensor that we're definitely going to deal with. A lot of the circuits in here we'll work in teams of 2 in this class. Normally, we look trainers, but in this class, since I think we have 16 signed up for it, we'll have to use some of the white trainers also. We'll decide how that goes. We've got all the parts, we've got plenty of sensors out there, so we should be okay. We'll have to go back over the rules for relay logic. Some of y'all had been out for a little while. Make sure that we follow those rules, right? Symbols, of course, when you draw your diagrams, and you're going to have to draw a few in this class, you are required to use symbols. You are required to use the right symbols, and you're required to follow the rules of drawing these circuits, right? You understand that? And we'll make sure that we look at that. So we use a lot of these symbols right here in motor controls, but we'll show you also the symbols that we use inside programmable logic controllers. There is another industry standard drawings for those, which are in more detail. So this is basically the generic symbol for all our solid state sensors. And we're going to be dealing with quite a few here. So the problem with this symbol is it don't identify the sensor, what the sensor actually does, what it actually senses. The new ISO sensors, the new industry standard symbols that we use in program controllers, the symbol itself will identify what type of sensor it is. So here we'll make sure we go back and pick those up, because more and more we're getting away from all relay logic, right? You understand? In most new installations, use a programmable logic controller to make all the decisions. It generates an output that will turn on a relay or turn on something like that. So we'll make sure in this class that we go and make sure we understand how these things connect to a programmable controller, and also the symbols. Are we okay? This is another textbook that's a free download. It's just it's about sensors. A lot of the information in there is a lot more complicated than what we will actually be using. It's got all the math that's involved in calculating sensors. Basically, in this class, we just need to know what the sensor does, how it works, can we adjust it, and of course, how do we tell if it's good or bad, right? We don't repair sensors anymore. We don't engineer these sensors. We buy these sensors, and then we replace them. But we need to know how to tell if they're bad, and make sure we buy, if one goes bad, that we do what? And also be able to buy the right replacement, right? You'd be surprised how many options you got on different sensors on what we get into. So lecture slides, if you want to run them off, I think we've gone through that, right? Assignments, course content, course test. You can see the test out there, but I need to go. Let me go back. Let me go to y'all's view so you won't be seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, and I think everything's supposed to be visible. By default, when you put in a new section on the new Blackboard, it comes up where you can't see it, and we have to remember to go out there and put everything and make everything visible. So here's the course test. Of course, you can't see them because they're unavailable. So what we do is we have a password that will pop up here. I had to do that last semester. So password's a lot different than what you could do passwords on the old test. Previous tests, this is where after we take a test one and we get it graded and we go over it in class, then I'll make it available up here. You can go out there and you can take the previous test as many times as you want to, and to study for my second test. So y'all have had my classes before, and so on the second test we have a lot of questions off the first test and vice versa. What we do is we keep going back and reinforcing what you learned, right? Understand that. And at the end of the semester, what's the final exam? Yeah, it's just off all three tests, and you just don't know what questions we're going to put in there. So we use our final exam just as a really good review, so you can move forward. Web links. So we record all our lectures. I don't put. It takes a lot of work, so I don't put the actual links to the actual lectures anymore. I just send you up to my YouTube channel, and the lectures will be started off with this name and the date that I gave it, so you can go back. So if you're absent, unfortunately, for this one, we have to upload them ourselves manually. It takes longer to upload them than it does to actually record them, because once they're uploaded, they got to be recompiled into YouTube's format. So I only upload lectures on Friday. But if you're absent, you can always go back on the weekend, the next weekend after your absence, and come back and look at that, right? And look at the lectures. By the way, Microsoft Office, if you don't have Microsoft Office, you can get it for free. If you've got a laptop or a desktop computer, y'all knew that, right? Just by being a student at Lawson State. Also, we have a minor problem in this class in that we got 16 people in the class, and we've only got 14 computers now. So what does that mean when we take it? Well, no, what we'll do is if you bring in your personal computer, we'll let you use it for tests. So we usually don't do that, but we're going to have to do it in this class. So first week in course information, this is where, by the way, it's a lot of work for me to set up a texting application too. So if you want to receive text about this class, then you're going to have to sign up for it yourself. All you have to do is, and anybody that gets text, no, that's very important. There's probably almost 100% chance that you read your text. I think there's like a 50% chance that you're going to read email. So it's very important. I'll even send now to text and say check your college email. So that way. So all you have to do, you just text this code up there. Can y'all see it? Well, you can see it when you go at 9F8FB to 810-10, and it'll sign you up for this class. You text. If you don't sign up for it, no. You'll be able to see it when you get finished with it. I know it's low. It's at the at sign 9F8F8. I'm sorry. I think I said D a while ago. and just text that to 810-10 and then follow the instructions and it'll sign you up for that texting application. So this is where the syllabus is, the actual syllabus. I gave you a copy of the brief. Everybody got a copy? Got a copy? It's around somewhere. Let me see who came in. I think I saw Capri came in, sitting on the back there. Zachary came in. James came in. Sierra, I saw Sierra. And James Roy came in. So everybody's here. Wow. Yeah, I know. Everybody got one. Of course, the brief tells you when the class meets. It tells you the required materials. Same as far as lab supplies, it's exactly the same as motor controls. That's what you need. Safety glasses, yeah. And then electrically insulated gloves, right? You understand that? Can't wear short. It's going to be getting into the spring. Can't wear short pants in this class. Can't wear open-toe shoes in this class, right? You understand that? Or any nylon-type clothing that's flammable. I hate to. I don't know where the fire extinguisher's at, right? In the back wall. So that's those. Really? Oh, yeah. Now that was just a little bit of smoke. This also shows you, I think, hopefully it shows you how to get into Blackboard. I'm not sure if I went back and changed that or not. Dress code, we added some more things though. We got the dress code, we got the safety and evacuation, and then we got children on campus, but we had to add this new policy in there. So there's going to be 4 agreements in there about agreeing to the dress code, that you adhere to the dress code, also children on campus, and then non-discrimination. So when you go into quizzes, you got to do a syllabus quiz, right? You got to do a syllabus agreement. You got to do a safety quiz. You got to do a dress code agreement. Actually, it's just an adherence, and I will adhere to that. And then non-discrimination and children on campus policy. You need to go back and just submit those for me, okay? When are those due? Friday. When's the syllabus agreement due? The next class, right? Yeah. So everybody should have a copy of the brief, right? And it gives you the required tools, just enough information for you to go to the bookstore or whatever and buy what you need. When the class meets, of course, y'all all made it, so y'all know it meets in this classroom. Of course, my contact information. We'll go over the important features of the syllabus itself. We're not going to read it in class because it's your responsibility to read it. So course description and also what's required. So we will be using the motor control book a little bit in here when we start looking at some of the sensors, electrical insulated gloves, digital multimeter, right? Then computer with internet access. And in this class, if you bring in your personal computer, we'll let you use it, take a test, and then just standard school supplies. Of course, everybody knows they got to use Blackboard in these classes, right? College email, you need to check that. This is what we're going to try to cover this term. Also, here's your checkoff list when we get through there. Here's the way we scale the grades. By the way, gradebook, we're still working on gradebook for here. So technically, the way this gradebook is set, it keeps what we call a running total. You know what that means? It means you start off with an A. Now we're going to try to take that away. Well, not that you start off with an A, but we get people that go through the whole semester and they don't do anything, and they end up, they think they got an A. And when I enter all that stuff up, right, they end up with a lot. And they are worse. So we'll try to do away. I don't like to keep it running over there because it gives you a false sense of how you're standing in the class when you're not actually standing in class in that, right? So technically, if you took one test and you made an A in it, and I don't enter any other grades for you, it'll still show you got a A. Even though you actually failed the class, yeah. So we're still working on that, but this is the way this is the way the percentages of your grade, what they count for. You can see this is a very lab intensive class. So the two big things are your what, or three, is the test, labs, and the final. If you do real well on those, of course, the syllabus agreement you have to do, people. It's up to you whether you do the quizzes or not. And also remember, these first week quizzes will be available for probably 2 or 3 weeks, and you can take those how many times? So you can always shoot for those and get the highest score you can get to help you on that 2%. 2% don't seem like much. A B or an A or a D and a C. So. First quizzes, everybody okay on that? Tests, everybody okay on that? We give 3 tests. We don't give makeup tests, but what do? We drop your lowest score because in a mini-term class, if you miss 2 tests, you're not going to want it. Yeah, you're not going to make it anyway. Assignments and homework, it's pretty straightforward. By the way, in this class, when you send me email, you need to start the email with AUT 232. Oops. Just start the email in the subject. Just put AUT 232 in the subject for me without any spaces. And why do I want you to do that? Because I have a folder in my email box. I have an inbox for this class, and the way it's sorted by these 5 characters right here. And if you start the subject off, it'll go into the folder for this class, and it won't get lost. It won't get lost in my email. I get a lot of emails, right? You understand that? So just if you send me an email about the class and just start the class off, start the subject off with that. Of course, you got to make, this is one of your major courses, so you got to make at least a C to actually pass the class. Everybody okay on that? Recorded lectures, like I told you, I'll make a attempt to record things go, but don't depend wholly on the recorded lectures. And sometimes when I try to upload it, it'll come up and say they're corrupted. I'm not going to go back and re-record the whole class, right? Then this is a mini-term class. It's very, very important that you be here. Every class we do the work that counts for 2 classes, right? We only meet twice a week, so basically missing 1 class would be just like being absent a week. We don't get makeups in here. We do scale grades. We understand that things happen, right? You understand? So what we do is we scale grades, but we don't drop them. We don't actually what we do by scaling, we keep your highest grades, right, for your labs, for your assignments. These are done at home, so very seldom do we scale assignments. But labs we scale, labs we scale the topic quiz, I mean the chapter quizzes, and we scale tests, of course. We don't drop the final exam though. If something happens on your final and you can't make the final, we do give you an I for the class. Withdrawals, I can't withdraw you from this class. Everybody understand that? If you stop coming, what do? I keep grading. So every assignment you don't turn in, you get a what? A 0. Every test you get a 0, and it's in the term. So if you're going to withdraw, you need to go into web links on the Blackboard, click on web links, and just click on that e-withdrawal. You can withdraw without coming in now, but you have to enter some information. I think you have to take a little assessment of the class. I never dropped the class, so I don't know. But you drop it electronically, right? You understand that. You need to go out and do that. And in that way, if you drop before the last day you withdraw, so that's published. I think I've got it. If it's not, I put it on the college calendar. If you drop before the last, if you drop the class before the last day to withdraw, then you get a W in the class. You don't get a refund on your tuition. But what you do, a W does not count against your grade point average. So it would be like almost like auditing the class. If you're gonna drop the class, I recommend that you stay in it as long as you possibly can. And that way, the next time you take the class, it will be a repeat, right? And normally, the more we hear something, the better it goes through. Basically, I understand that. So I had a student in my last class. Guess what they didn't do? They didn't drop. Lateness, you need to get here as you can. Everybody knows I start my classes on time. I've got a bunch of information to go through in this class, or every class that I teach. So Brianna just joined the text now. So we start class on time. Plagiarism, everybody know what plagiarism is? So plagiarism means, claiming somebody else's work as your own, cheating. So in our labs, we're going to do topic quizzes. We're going to answer questions. We're going to be working as a team. But when you answer those questions, those are not a team effort, right? You understand that? So what that means is that you answer the questions and you do these chapter quizzes on your own. Everybody okay on those? Harassment, no discrimination, harassment, Americans with Disability. We do have problems with this every once in a while. If you have a disability where we have to, where you need something added to the class or something that we can do to make you give you the ability to succeed in the class, you can't approach me and tell me that you need something. Because I cannot discriminate, right? You understand that? So what does that mean? I can't make any special arrangements for you. I can't do that. If you got any disability that needs this, then you need to take your documentation on this campus to Ms. Renee Herman, and she will document it, and then she will send me a letter, official letter that tells me what we need to do to make it possible for you to succeed in the class. I said exceed in the class, right? Cell phone and pagers, you need to make sure you put your cell phone and pager on silent while you're in class, James. And don't answer your cell phone in class. If you get a phone call, what's nice about this, if you don't even get to it in time, you have a record until you call it right back, right? Your cell phones are really neat on that. So you need to go out in the hall. If you talk real loud, you need to go down the hall, right? I've had people go out, like, we can hear the whole conversation. So, acceptable use policy that tells us that nothing in all this stuff that we supply you does not belong to you. So on our computers down there, you can't play games on them. You can't change the background or do anything like that on it. Children on campus, discrimination, we already talked about that a little bit. Children on campus, guys, you can't bring children on this campus. Course calendar, we try to post as much stuff as possible in the course calendar. What I'll do on labs, y'all had motor controls, is I'll write the due date on the lab itself, so I can't put that stuff on because labs move at whatever the team moves at. Right. Then notes about the class. This tells you I can't drop you from the class, and and this is the course syllabus. Like I said, you're required to go back and read this, and then you're supposed to take a syllabus quiz. About 230 questions, I think. Yeah, it's like 20-something minutes. A lot of stuff is, a lot of it's just common sense. There's some information about your alternate contacts and how you get in touch with me, and then also the scale for the class, how you're scaled for that. So any questions on the syllabus? Yeah, all our syllabuses are, in fact, most of the syllabi on the campus should be pretty close to what we do. So